Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Scarfinger, and this is the first in a series of three misfires. I am using those paints, the Liquitex Basics paints, for the first time, and I seem to have a series of three mishaps. The first one was completely my fault. You're gonna notice that I use this paint out of this bottle. Now, it's not the actual paint that's in the bottle. It's a mixture that I had created, and then I put it. I had some excess left, and I put it back in that bottle, and it didn't quite go as well as I had hoped. So this one is a I'm just gonna pour everything in. Just wanted to get some flip cup action going and see what I'm working with here. I should have used the white that was in the Liquitex Basics bottle, but I figured I had no real intentions on using a lot of white, and then I ended up pouring too much in the cup. So I was like, you know what, screw it, it'll be all right. Apparently, it was not. So while I'm mixing up these paints, I used all of the other colors, including a little bit of black. Okay, so here's what really happened. I made up these cups, and my intention was to kind of stretch it a little bit and get several paintings out of the paint that I mixed up. And that causes problems with the second painting. I'm going to release all three of these separate from each other. So it can be, I call it a tragedy in three acts. Um, but yeah, this one I messed up because of that white mixture. I thought I had mixed it up pretty well, and I had not. And also for this video, I'm not gonna cut it because I didn't do a shot of it after the fact. So I didn't cut it. I just let it be what it was. And you see, right now, it doesn't look that bad at all. But I'm starting to notice the white paint. And at this point, I'm very, very worried about how this thing is actually going to come out. And it just so happens that that white paint was not mixed right at all. Even though I had previously mixed it, I didn't test it out. So then I put the heat gun on it, try to get the bubbles out, and I'm thinking I'm golden. I'm thinking that everything is okay. The white paint is coming through it, and I'm very much on panic mode at this point. So I was like, you know what? It's already on the canvas. I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing. So I started in some of my other paintings tilting a little bit slower because I noticed that I got better. It looked better when I tilted slower. It wasn't as like stretched out and crazy, but yeah, you're gonna see in a moment why this was a grave mistake. As of right now, doesn't look that bad. You can see those white splotches coming through, and it's not looking great. And like the more I tilt the canvas, the more that white is showing up on the painting where it shouldn't, and it's starting to create problems. So I just figured, I know some people will just scrape the painting and start over. I don't really like to do that. Because if I'm gonna fail at a painting, at least I want to see how I failed it, and then have it there as a reminder of what to do differently. I put them all up on the wall, and see, now you're starting to see what happened because that white paint wasn't right, and that looks terrible. I mean, that looks horrible. The white paint just completely took over this painting, and then I'm still trying to do my thing, and then I start tilting it the other way to try to get some of that white paint off, but there isn't enough of the other paint coming through to make this work right at all. So I'm just trying to do what I can, and to be honest, it even with the way that the white paint looked at this point, it didn't look that bad. It just kind of looks like that was a choice that I made until it dried. But I instantly knew, once that white started to come through, I instantly knew that this was a bad fluid painting. And you know, I wanted to try to I wanted to just put up everything. Well, actually, I contemplated not putting this up, but a lot of my friends was like, well, you should put this up anyway. But I wanted to put up the successes and the failures and show you that this is what can happen if you don't prepare your paints the right way. And I completely failed at this. And like I said, I know it's bad. And when it dried, it looked absolutely worse. So I might actually put that painting. I might actually put the dried painting up at some point. But at this point, I knew this was a loss. I mean, it was absolutely a loss. And you know, you live and you learn. You paint and you burn, I guess you could say. I just wanted to say something that rhymed, honestly. But yeah, this is what happens when you don't prepare your stuff properly, and I did not. So, on to the next tragedy. I'll post this other video up in a moment. Peace out. Go to the website, facebook.com/PTCAC for Peace Through Colors, Arts and Crafts. I'm probably going to be working on a website, or I'm going to put it onto my podcast website, which is geeksgoneraw.com. And I'm still working on some things on the side, as like other things like a Patreon and all that kind of stuff. So hit that like button. My failure.